As a producer, you're responsible for so much more than just making a beat. And a lot of guys say, oh, I'm a producer. I say, oh yeah, what do you do? He says, well, I got Ableton. I got a push too, I do beats. I said, okay, that's like 10% of being a producer, I think. When I talk about producing, just giving you the background where I came from, my hope was to play in the NBA, and it kind of changed my focus back to music when I tore my ACL my senior year. So at that point, I really decided to focus on music. I started working every day. Just like a sport, for me, I began practicing and I began getting better. I began looking at the details of what do I need to do to be great. I think at a point in your career as a producer, if you've worked hard, you've done all the steps, you've practiced, you've perfected, you've studied, you've listened, and you've learned, you will get to have your barometer be hopefully accurately aligned with the barometer of the general public. And if that happens, as a songwriter or as a producer, you will find success. And I say that because when I'm in the studio, I'm creating to please myself. And I know that sounds counterintuitive maybe to having radio hits or having success with record companies and things like that. But I'm sitting in the studio, I'm not concerning myself with everything else. I'm concerning myself about what comes out of the end of my fingers onto this piano and out the speakers into my ears. Do I like it? Technically speaking, producing is, as I said, experimenting. And at this point in the industry, we have so much great technology that allows you to be able to do anything you want. Anything you can hear, anything you can envision, anything you wake up from sleep and hear in your head and whisper into your iPhone, which I do all the time, anything you do like that, you can create. Part of the talent of being a good producer or a good songwriter for that matter is knowing when you're done. I never feel like I'm done. And that's kind of a scary thought, but that's just the fact for me. Every time I hear the song that I've done, I hear it on the radio or I even hear it on the drive home from the studio, I'm like, ooh, I wonder, should I try and make that bass sound a little different? Or I could have done that last chord coming out of the bridge slightly different. And I'm always tinkering. And I think that's my personality. I guess I'm not often satisfied with what I'm doing, and I always want to make it better and push it. So for me, producing is a series of compromises sometimes where you want it to be this, and you keep working to get it there, and you keep working, and then when you get it here, then, oh wait, I want it to be up here. I've been very fortunate. I've worked with a lot of crazy divas, worked with a lot of superstar artists, as has Tony, and he can tell you the same stories. They're all crazy, okay? They're all nuts, and they all want to get out of the studio so they can go, to their yacht or to a club or to their families, whatever it is. My job as a producer, again, the bar is here, I'm always chasing it. So I'm always pushing, I'm always wanting more, I'm always trying more things. So my original point was the singers do get upset at me, but I'm chasing what I hear in my head and what I want it to sound like. Whether it takes 8 tracks on the stack or 12 tracks or 48 tracks, I'm gonna keep going. And I'm not gonna be deterred from what I want it to sound like. Producers need to study and they need to pay attention. And it's easier now than ever. Listen to a song. Do my drums sound like that? Do the sounds under the sonic elements, the samples that I'm using, do they hit as hard as those drums? Yes or no? It's not a hard question. You can listen to them on your headphones. Does my vocal sit in the right spot in the mix? Is it clear? Can I feel what the singer's singing? Yes or no? Is it like muddy or is it clear? It's a simple question. The best thing I can tell you about how I run my business is I've never run it just to make money. I do things because I love the job, and I do things that I think are really, really exciting and will be inspirational and will drive me to do something different and encourage my creativity, things like that. And to be focusing on how am I going to get a check, how much money can I get off this label, how much money can I get from this artist, that's misplaced energy and it's misplaced focus for me. And again, this is just how I've chosen to run my business. I think it's really important as a creator that you focus on doing great work, doing work that is inspiring and exciting not only to you but to the consumers. And with that, financial success, I think, will follow every time. Every time.